Yo guys, what is going on? It is Invin here, and today what I'm bringing to you guys is the PTR March release patch notes 3. Now, the first thing that you guys will probably see from this note is, of course, that it says PTR only changes. Now, I debated whether to make a video on this for that reason. However, what I've discovered by reading through them is the changes they've made are either going to be things that are in the final build, because they're going to make a big difference in the PTR here if they aren't, or it's stuff that's been addressed in the PTR to come into live at a later point. So I do think it's worth keeping on top of the news and the updates that they do with the PTR, as that is generally stuff that we're going to be seeing with the live release of the March patch, which should be in around about 2 weeks time from the creation of this video. Now, the reason it's so important is there's some crucial things in here, as well as some really good QOL stuff, and it's going to be quite a short video, but I just wanted to keep you guys in the loop with all of the latest and greatest, as always. Now, before we jump into it, like always guys, if you are new to the channel or you haven't yet done so but you've been watching a lot of the videos, I would much appreciate it if you would be able to drop a subscribe down below to the channel. It's completely free and you can always change your mind at a later point. And without further ado, let's jump into it. So firstly, you will see that the Tempest's Heart Expedition has had some changes. This is the brand new expedition we saw released with the March PTR, and of course we'll see in the March live servers client. And this one is where they have performed a polish pass on a number of combat encounters, fixing several bugs and edge cases. Also, the carapaces used in the Corrupted Monolith Darkness events don't take damage for certain abilities. These things are crucial to be fixed because, of course, obviously it's the flagship thing of the new update, along with the blunderbuss, which you'll see has had a fix underneath this. And on top of that, the combat encounters are very intricate within inside the Tempest Heart Expedition. There's some very, very cool stuff. Without spoiling it for anybody that hasn't yet been into it, it's a very, very cool one, if not the coolest one so far in terms of the combat style of the mobs. Like I said in a previous video, very similar to the final boss in Dynasty Shipyard in terms of very unique art style to the combat and abilities. So polishing that is always a really, really good thing. Now, moving on to the blunderbuss, which says they've fixed there a number of reported bugs impacting abilities and perks. Essentially just some cleanup stuff, making sure that it's consistent, making sure that the weapon works as intended and as the descriptions of the abilities are, because there's a few outlying factors where you could make this do some incredible damage that was not intended. So that has been fixed, which again, before it hits live, is amazing. And generally, we've seen fixed the issue where interacting with the stone cutting table and crafting a runestone or any type of tuning orb would result in a client crash. Very strange PTR thing that was going on, but it's been fixed now, so not to worry. Now, in terms of combat, we've seen Ice Gauntlet and Fire Staff, so mages, get your ears listening. This one is Fire Staff, Refreshing Pillar of Fire, the item perk. They've fixed an issue that caused this perk to grant cooldown reduction when dealing damage with dot effects. Obviously, again, this was only in the PTR, but this was pretty powerful. So the fact that that's been fixed before, again, it's hit the actual live clients is really, really good, because that was ridiculous. And the Ice Gauntlet as well, we've seen fixes to the Entombed, where they have fixed an issue that prevented the Ice Tomb from taking damage from certain chain element perk effects. Chain Fire, Chain Void, etc. weren't doing damage to the Entombed, essentially meaning people could stay in there for longer even if they should have been taking additional damage, reducing the timer and the health of that entombment. So again, mages, you've had a more consistency pass, and for those playing against the mages, you should now see a more consistent approach to fighting them, which is a good all-round fix. Now, Outpost Rush, it says that joining an Outpost Rush match after Baroness Hayne has spawned will no longer display a broken timer on the HUD. In other words, if she's already spawned or she's been killed, you'll actually have the updated live timer on that, rather than a delayed one that starts it from the beginning of the match, which would be the normal timer there. It will now be actually live, if you will. Then, obviously, wars. We've seen some big changes to these, but this change is going to be that letters will appear on the gate markers and the HUD during the war and invasion to help players better identify each gate. What I'm assuming they mean by this is the gate facing A will have the A lettering on, B will have B, and C will have C. Not sure what they're going to do for the back gates, and I'm not sure whether this is going to extend to the war camp, but if it does, I would assume it will just be mirrored, so it'll be A, B, and C in reverse for the war camp. Again, like I said, not sure what the back doors of the fort will be. Maybe they'll just be given a lettering so that we can more easily call it out, I should say. And yeah, this actually seems like a pretty decent idea. This is going to give people more of a chance if they are going to be respawning in random places inside the fort. They know which direction they need to go in a lot quicker, and in invasions, particularly when you might be getting in some players that are not necessarily either in the community in terms of in the Discord or whatever, or you might just be getting a random fill-in because people are offering to help you out. It's going to be a lot easier to say this group goes to this marked door and they know exactly where they're going. Just a little QOL thing, which I think is pretty nice. Then crafting, we've already talked about the balance of time change from the previous notes, but they also added a really, really big thing here, which is kind of just plopped in the side. But quick salvaging a known recipe will now notify you that you already know this recipe. That is a huge change. For me, probably one of the biggest changes, because some of these sell for a couple thousand gold, which on first value, you might think, it's not that much. Some of them maybe 500 gold. It's not that much. Is it worth looking if I've got it or not? And you can't really sometimes tell without going to the actual crafting station. And by that point, people just can't be bothered, let's be honest. So this will actually allow us to see, particularly if you're going to salvage one, it says you've already got this. You go to the trading post. Pleasant surprise, it's 3,000 gold. It saved you a lot of money, and again, is something that's just going to be a great little QOL feature. So for me personally, and I know a lot of players will like this as well, that is a great change. It'd be nice if we could get in the future maybe a little book that says all of the learned recipes and all of the ones that we haven't learned, more importantly, so we could maybe potentially, look for those on the trading post, look for those as dropped, look for those as trades from company members or in the trade chat, etc. But for now, this is a really, really good QOL update and something I am very much looking forward to. Now, again, on the crafting side of things, the Alkahest now properly gains bonus items when crafted. Essentially, you'll be able to get those extra bonus for your alchemy level, or for your arcana level, rather. And this will then allow you to get bonus crafts on those, which is really great. And then general fixes. Fixes a server crash that sometimes happened when picking up items off the ground. Again, random PTR thing. Fixed issues where storage chests did not acquire updated weight capacity until they were moved. Fixed an issue where the player's first respawn attempt at a shrine would fail. And fixed an issue that could cause a crash when the trading post is disabled. Again, bear in mind they were only inside the PTR, so the chances are if you're only playing live servers, you won't have even seen those, but it's good to know that they've been fixed before it even hits live, which is a lot better than some of the stuff we've seen previously, and it's great to see the open lines of communication, Amazon saying, look, we did have this problem, we fixed it already, and that's great to see because it means they're doing a lot of progress behind the scenes on stuff that most people haven't even touched hands with yet. So great additions, great overall kind of summary of what they're doing, and I think a lot of this we will see in the live game. So although it says PTR only changes for now, it's very likely that this will be in the final build, otherwise they would have changed it over in the live build version of the PTR as well. So yeah, this is good to keep up to date with and good to know what they are actually working on. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video, just a quick little update. Like I said, very short amount of notes, very compact, but some very useful things in there. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to drop a like and subscribe down below on today's video, as it is much appreciated. And other than that, guys, as always, thank you very much for your time, thank you for watching, and I will catch you again very shortly on a brand new upload. Take care, guys, and peace.